And this is what's so amazing is that every single man is born with disability, but most of them are too fucking lazy to do it.
Exactly.
They sit there and go, you know what, Tate, man, you know, you're fighting and you're driving a Lambo and blah, blah, blah. I was like, why didn't you fight? Oh, I never had the time. Shut up. You could have fought. You could have been better than me. Obviously, I'm being nice when I say this. Of course, they didn't stand a chance in hell, but I'll say it anyway. You might have beaten me. Right. Never, but still. You know, you might have beaten me, but you didn't even train. You didn't even try.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to sit there on your video game and level up your character, but you won't level up your real life self. And this is the truth. And people sit there and go, yeah, but it's hard. You wouldn't want it if it wasn't hard. Because if it wasn't hard, everyone would have it and it would have no value. If everybody had a six-pack, you wouldn't want a fucking six-pack. This is the beauty of it. People don't understand that the fact it's hard is what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it good. That's what makes you want it at all. Why is a nice body so coveted? Because people know how hard it is to have a nice body. If we all could just shred like this, it wouldn't mean anything. Value and scarcity are linked. Nobody's gonna wake up and look at bulldog mindset and go, you know what, that John guy, he's a good guy. I'm gonna dedicate my day to getting John a Ferrari. Right. Like, it's not gonna happen. If you want a Ferrari, you gotta make a Ferrari. If I want a Ferrari, I gotta get a Ferrari. Anyone who wants a Ferrari has to go get it. This is a simple truth of earth, especially being a man. And this is kind of one of those things I've noticed. There's a really weird phenomenon happening, but I've noticed lots of men starting to kind of complain and bitch about how easy females have it, or women get it easy. Oh, yeah. And yeah, women do have it easy. But what, you're jealous of chicks now?
Right.
Like, I would like, that's how big of a bitch you are? You're jealous of a chick? Like, I think being a female would be a disaster. Yeah, okay, if you're a beautiful female, thank you. If you're a beautiful female, you get some advantages in life. Of course you do, because beauty's a currency. But the idea of actually living life as a female, there's no conquest. There's nothing. I mean, what do you really do? Absolutely, man. Like, I see these people apologize and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? Why? Yeah. You know, like, my biggest ever outrage is when, this was about 4 years ago, is when I was still verified on Twitter before I got banned. And I said depression wasn't real. And I know that's like a really controversial take. And my point was very simple. My point is that depression is a natural instinct inside of men. And it's something that is designed to show you that you need to change something about your life. If like you go to jail and you're depressed, it's not because you've caught depression, it's because you're in jail. This is why. So if you feel depressed, you need to wake up and go, well, why am I depressed? And how can I change this? I had people message me saying, you don't understand how it feels, I'm fat and I can't get a girlfriend because I'm depressed. I said, no, you're depressed because you're fat and you can't get a girlfriend. Right. You got it the wrong way around. So when I said depression wasn't a clinical disease and it's simply the result of not living a life that you truly enjoy and you're not happy with, I trust the locks on my Lamborghini, but I wouldn't let people try and break in. I'd say, get the fuck away from my car. Right. It's not yours. So for the same reason, even though I trust the security system on my car, and I trust, even though I don't trust her, I'll say I do, I trust your internal security system, I'm not gonna let people be disrespectful to me as a man and openly try and poach something that's mine. Right. That's disrespectful. And there's two choices. I either care about you and I'm territorial, or I don't care about you and I'm not. Exactly. You can make the choice. If you really want to hang on those dudes, I'm not even saying we can't talk. I'm not saying that, no problem. But don't expect me to give a fuck about you in the way I could give a fuck about you. And when you tell women, this is one of the key things, when you tell women, I will care about you less if you act X way, it's very hard for them to act that way because they want you to care. Right. They want that emotional energy from you. You're like, you're making a choice that's going to end in a detriment to how much I give a fuck about you. And if they make that choice, you have to act accordingly. If she makes that choice and you keep acting like you love her, then she ain't going to feel it. She has to feel it, you know? This is the second thing about the whole thing that's really crazy, this whole male friends thing. You have to respect that person's opinion. So if you ever find yourself annoyed by something someone said, you have to ask yourself, why do I respect this person? Now, why would you respect a sin? Right. Like, so I get more hate than it. I get non-stop, never-ending tirades of hate. Yeah. And I'm not saying this in any kind of bravado way. I want everyone to understand, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't enter my brain. I don't care, because I know that any of these men would die to change places. They would do anything to be me. There is no man, if you could build yourself like a video game character without the effort and determination and iron will that it requires to become a man of substance, if you could do it with a few clicks of a mouse like a video game, Everyone would choose to be big and strong and smart and rich and fucking have fast cars and beautiful women. Nobody would choose to be a fucking internet masturbator, fat simp piece of shit. No one would tick those options. Nobody.
Right.
So they would swap with me in a heartbeat if they could. So when they take time out of their life and start writing email about I'm a bad person, do you think I give a solitary fuck? I know they don't mean it. This is what makes it interesting. I would be devastated if all my haters to see that. How boring would that be? Like it's absolutely, and you're never going to win without attracting the hate of people who can't win.
Yep.
They're going to try and drag you down. They're going to try and drag you down. Don't buy a baguette. What a waste of money. You could have given it to charity. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, just let these people hate. You need to enjoy the hate. You need to turn it into power in real time. Like we said earlier, the only thing you control is your state of mind. Every single time you get an email of hate, do 100 press-ups and smile. In my mind, my parameters are set so that sad doesn't exist. I just have different levels of angry.
Right.
Because I believe that, because anger is a force. Anger is only a problem if you can't control it. If you can put anger in the correct direction, it's extremely motivating. Like water is only a problem if it breaks the dam, right? If it's in the dam and it's doing the right thing, you power a town. It's only if it goes over the dam. So when I get pissed off, I'll go train. I'll get a bunch of shit done. I work best when I'm angry. Like I'll go smash the weights. When I'm angry, I'll just fucking train for 6 hours. I love being angry. I get loads done. When I'm happy is when I'm lazy. So I don't believe in sad. So for me, there's just different levels of angry. So it's all about, how you frame yourself and how you choose certain emotions. But I can't even, first time in my life I've messed up. I can't remember my original point. But my point is, if how you decipher what happens to you and how you react to it is truly how you're going to envision the world. I don't believe in sad, so I never feel sad. And this is why even if bad things happen to me, it motivates me to do amazing and fantastic things. And this is where true emotional control comes from. It's how something's going to happen. Yeah. That's all it is. It's inaction. I'm sad and I'm this and I'm this and this and this and this. You're doing nothing. You're just sitting, talking, but you're not doing anything. If you were doing things, if you were learning the guitar and going to the bar every night and going up to every girl you found attractive and going to the gym every day, you wouldn't have called me.
Oh yeah.
You're doing nothing. It's a lot of it's just inaction. We live in a world of just fucking waiting and being too patient and just sitting there. In life is binary. You have action and inaction. You have cause and effect. You either did it or you didn't do it. I can talk about going to the moon for the next fucking 10 years. I'm not an astronaut until I've been to the fucking moon. So this is the reality of life. You're either, I said that just increases the prizes for the winners. So I say this all the time. I say all the time that life for about 50% of men is intolerable. And then there's about 30% of men who have an okay life, and there's 20% of men who have a great life. But I don't believe very few men are in the bottom 50% by accident. I think that it's a conscious decision, and they've decided that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and they want to sit there and pretend they want the juice, but they don't want to do the work. Like I said, I want to be a figure skater, but I don't want to train. And then I'm never going to be able to fucking figure skate. That's life, and this is the harsh reality of life, and it ties into everything else. And then they start sitting there complaining about society and like everyone else's fault. Depression's got you now. There's nothing you can do. It's in your brain. Like, come on, man. This whole idea of depression being the scariest thing in the world is what's making people kill themselves. You're giving these people no hope. 100%. I'll give you hope. It's bullshit. There's your hope. Because this is something that's absolutely true. I often speak to people who are, so I'm really not that rich. I don't own a fucking boat. I'm not a billionaire. I have a little bit of money. But I often speak to people who are trying to make money, and I talk about financial stuff, and I help people make money. And they were saying to me, oh, but I don't know any rich people. And I said, there's a reason for that. And that's because human relationships are always a value exchange.
Yes.
Always a value exchange. The reason rich people don't really like talking to poor people is because they're giving away loads of value and they don't really get much back. I mean, you're sitting there just trying to learn shit and trying to get money from them. And what are you telling them? What are you teaching them? Unless you're working for them or something. They don't want to, rich people like having rich friends. It's normal. Yeah. This is a value. Exactly. So when you're saying, oh, helping these downers, well, what are you getting in return? Because I don't see a value exchange there. I mean, maybe if they're truly dedicated to being your disciple and they want to improve your life in some way, or they want to pay for your time, then of course help them. But if you're just going out of your life, out of your way, wasting your time, just helping people, there's no value exchange. Everything I do has to have a value exchange. All my friends, I love my friends, but there's a value exchange. They gain things from being with me. I gain things from being with them. It's the same with your relationship. Your woman gains things being with you. You gain things being with your woman. It's a value exchange. This is how the world exists. If you're going through life and you have relationships that aren't a fair value exchange, you're losing.
Yep.
Why would you do that? So it's not that I'm negative and I don't want to help people. But if some guy comes to me and goes, I'm super depressed, oh, please take them. I don't have time to just go and just waste. It's a waste. I don't gain anything. Sort of down this black hole of fucking despair. Like, I don't have time for that shit. If a guy comes to me and really wants to improve his life, I'll tell him how to do it. If he proves he's about it, then I'll continue to help him. But yeah, this whole helping downers and stuff, there has to be a value exchange for every relationship in your life. And it should be a fair one. Everyone should benefit. That's the greatest thing about human relationships, is that everyone can benefit. There's no, I think you're gonna push forward or you're not.
And I think that's one of the most important lessons in life, is that nobody gives a fuck, right? It's like, and you know, I tell guys all this all the time. It's like, nobody gives a fuck. It doesn't matter. Like, people will pretend to give a fuck, but no one actually gives a fuck about you, right? They care about themselves. They got too much fucking problems to deal with on their own. And so, like, if you think someone's going to come to save you, or someone's going to come and help you in some way, you're full of shit. You're on your own. You're dropped off in this fucking world with just you, and you got to rely on yourself. And if you think that someone else is going to come and help you or save you or make things feel better for you, you're full of shit. It's bullshit. The quicker you learn that fucking lesson that you're on your own, the better off you're going to be as a man, because then you start solving your fucking problems instead of thinking that someday they'll go away or someone else will come and alleviate the pain from you. And that's like so much of the pussification of men is based on that. Is they don't know that it's time to fucking stand up, because they don't realize they're alone.
Exactly. And this is the thing, like,